Let's have a look at the sustainable site credit heat island reduction. This credit applies for the following categories, for 2 points. The intent is to minimize the effect of microclimates and human and wildlife habitats by reducing heat islands. Dark, non-reflective surfaces used for parking, roads, roofs, walkways or other hardscapes absorb the sun's warmth and radiate heat, creating heat island. Urban areas can have temperatures 1 to 3 degrees Celsius warmer than surrounding suburban and undeveloped areas, and as much as 12 degrees Celsius warmer in the evenings. These heat islands may contribute to regional average warming trends. Urban heat island effects have numerous negative consequences. Plants and animals sensitive to temperature fluctuations may find habitat affected by heat islands inhospitable. Human health may suffer because exposure to ground level pollution is often worse in places affected by heat islands. Additionally, heat islands increase cooling loads in the summer, necessitating larger, more powerful air conditioners that use more electricity. Efforts to reduce heat islands can have a reasonable payback period when included as part of an integrated system approach to improve buildings' performance, such as installing solar panels or shading devices or using vegetated roof to insulate a building and extend the life of the roof. The most effective measure of roofing's material's ability to reject solar heat is the Solar Reflectance Index, also known as SRI. However, to measure the solar heat rejection of components that are not roofing materials or non-roof, for example vegetation, shading devices or other less reflective components, solar reflectance or SR is used to this credit instead. Therefore, this credit encourages project teams to adopt a variety of strategies, including reducing hardscape and incorporating high SRI or high SR materials, such as vegetation and shaded parking. Let's have a look at the requirements. Choose one of the following options. Option 1, non-roof, for 1 point. Option 2, roof, 1 point. Or option 3, non-roof and roof, together 2 points. Or option 4, parking undercover, for 1 point. Let's go to each of them specifically. So option 1, non-roof. In the establishment period, use a combination of the following strategies for a minimum of 50% of the site paving. Use the existing plant material or install plants to provide shade over paving areas on the site within 10 years of planting. The plants must be in place at the time of certification application. Install vegetated planters. Provide shade with structures covered by energy generation system, such as solar thermal collectors, PV, and wind turbines. Provide shade with architectural devices or structures that have a 3-year age solar reflector value of at least 0.28. If the 3-year age value information is not available, use materials with an initial SR of at least 0.33. Provide shade with vegetated structures. Use paving materials with a 3-year SR value of at least 0.28. Again, if the 3-year age value is not available, use materials with an initial SR of 0.33 at installation. Or use an open grid pavement system, at least 50% unbound. For the performance section here, implement a maintenance program that ensures all high reflective paving surfaces are cleaned at least every 3 years to maintain good reflectance. Now option number 2, roof. Use either roofing materials with an SRI equal to or greater than the values in the table that you see here for a minimum of 70% of the roof area, or a vegetated roof for a minimum of 50% of the roof area, or both. If using both high reflectance and vegetated roof surface, meet the following criteria. This is the formula as given. For the performance section, this will come back a few times. Implement a maintenance program to ensure all high reflectance roof surfaces are cleaned at least every 3 years to maintain good reflectance, and all vegetated roofs are maintained for plant health and good structural condition. Option number 3, non-roof and roof for 2 points. Here meet the following criteria. So look at the formula. Area of non-roof measures 0.5 plus area plus high reflective roof divided by 0.75 plus the area of veggie roof divided by a half must be larger than the total site paving area plus the total roof area. Alternatively, an SRI and an SR weighted average approach may be used to calculate the compliance. If using a high reflective roof, you use the minimum solar reflectance index value by roof slope as shown in this table below. And once more, for the performance area, the same thing, ensure all high reflectance surfaces are cleaned at least every 3 years to maintain good reflectance and ensure the vegetative roofs are maintained. Option 4, parking undercover. Place at least 50% of the parking spaces undercover And any roof used to shade or cover the parking must have at least an SRI of at least 32. If the 3-year age value is not available, use materials with an SRI of at least 39 at installation. Secondly, be a vegetated roof or be covered by energy generation systems such as solar, thermal collectors, PV, or wind turbines. And again, for the performance, implement a maintenance program that we have seen before. Now let's have a look at the documentation. Here you can see that it varies depending on the option that you choose. But for each of the options, you should provide the manufacturer's documentation of the SRI, SR, and paving permeability, as well as the description of the maintenance program. And then depending on the option that you choose, you provide further explanations. Now, in terms of exemplary performance, it is available. When choosing option 1, install SRI compliant materials and open grid paving systems for at least 95% of the non-roof impervious surfaces. Option number 2, same thing, install a vegetative roof system for at least 95% of the project's roof area. Option 3, achieve exemplary performance for both option 1 and option 2. Option 4, locate at least 95% of the parking on the